This is Attorney Mike Gravel coming to you from Chicago as usual, and today I've got a fun one. It's sort of a pro se court fail, but it's a little different. This time, the pro se succeeds, at least in my humble opinion.
He's a lumberjack and he's okay. He sleeps all night and he works all day.
It's kind of an interesting contrast. If you're new to the channel, first of all, you know why, but let's get past that. Maybe you need to go see the Kim Blandino, Anthony Williams, or one of those first to understand why this is so refreshing. Let's do it.
Okay, let's talk to Mr. Parrish. This is file 212307 OT, People versus Dylan Michael Parrish. On Saturday night, November 13th, Mr. Parrish allegedly hit a pole with his Ford automobile, and the pole won, according to the ticket, and he left the scene. So he's charged with leaving the scene of a property damage accident, which is a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 90 days in jail and a fine of up to $100. I believe this particular variety carries 2 points.
It does. We would offer 257, 621, which is accident fixtures are adjacent to a highway, which does not carry points.
Well, here we usually have Deborah Davis, but we've got TJ Reed. I've seen him on other videos. He seems like a reasonable sort. His most notable appearance, at least for me, was when he refused to leave the stream for Samir Siraj Morrow Bay because he just wanted to see it. But anyway, he makes a nice offer to this defendant who's not represented.
Oscar says hit like and subscribe. Well, and hit the bell notification. Thanks, Oscar. I always think that.
I suspect that may be where you go here. Mr. Parrish, you're charged with leaving the scene of a property damage accident. It's a relatively minor misdemeanor. Often these are drunk driving cases that maybe got away. The ticket says your blood alcohol is 000, so I don't think alcohol is an issue here. But there's another charge called leaving the scene of an accident from a fixture, which is like a fence post or a sign or a telephone pole. That doesn't carry any points and wouldn't put points on your driving record. Normal fine for that is $200. How do you plead to the offered lesser charge of leaving the scene of an accident with a fixture?
Yeah, we can do that, Your Honor.
All right, well, let me ask you a couple of questions, Mr. Parrish. You logged in right on time. You wore a tie. You're obviously taking this seriously. Did anyone promise you anything to get you to plead to this charge?
That's what's interesting right there. You know, he makes that point. He's like, he's logged in on time. He looks good. He's not moving his camera. All these things you'd think are just so simple, unless you watch a lot of this stuff on YouTube, which I do. Now, in my practice, it's all professional attorneys, so that's to be expected. But on these calls, whoo, that's a rarity.
No, sir, I've had no contact.
All right, or threaten you to try to get you to plead to this?
No, sir.
Do you understand that if you plead to this charge, you'll be giving up your right to have a trial in front of a judge or jury? There will be no trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you had a trial, you'd have the right to be represented by an attorney. In fact, Mr. Stickley is here if you wish to have any additional advice, but it is your absolute right to plead guilty also. If you had a trial, you'd have a right to take a witness stand and testify on your own behalf, but you don't have to because you have a right not to testify. And if you did not wish to testify, the judge or jury cannot hold your silence against you. And you have a right to be presumed innocent until the state was able to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, if they were able to do that. Were you driving a car in Sturgis on November 13th?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you hit a pole?
Yes, Your Honor.
What happened?
I was heading west down Fawn River off of Centerville Road, and I had a vehicle in front of me and a vehicle coming from the opposite, the oncoming lane. And he went to go hit his brakes, so I hit mine, and I had lack of brakes. So I thought that if I just went off to the right, the side of the road, I'd be better off than hitting one of the vehicles in front of me. And then I hit.
But then what did you do? Walk home or something?
No, I found where my brake line had blown, and I clamped that off, and then I drove very slowly back to my house.
Hallelujah. We answered all the questions. We made sense. And then I'm actually impressed that the guy diagnoses the problem with his brakes and does the best thing he can and gets his car home like a man. It's a beautiful thing. And I know this seems odd, but this is just maybe therapy for me after all the other videos I've done. The public defender here is not trying to inject himself. He seems like a reasonable sort. I've seen him on a few other videos because the offer is good. You know, the defendant gets it. The judge is rational. The prosecutor, TJ Reed, here is being very reasonable. So, you know, this thing just sails right along.
How did the police find you?
There was witnesses that got my license plate number, and so then they contacted me.
All right, that seems to fit the factual basis. Mr. Reed, what's the 621? Is that what it is?
Yes, Your Honor. 257.621 is the failed to report accident to fixtures. And I would state for the record that according to the police report, Mr. Parrish was very cooperative, reported to the police department, admitted he was driving, told him the same story he told you. Does not appear to be drinking. Alcohol did not appear to be a factor in this. So.
All right, well, this is a no-pointer. The fine is $75, Mr. Parrish. $75 crime victims' rights fee and a $50 state minimum fee. That goes with every single ticket. If I find you $1, state requires I add $125. So the total is $200. And you pay that by the end of the year, December 31st?
Yes, sir.
All right. Are you still at Lakeview?
Yes, Your Honor.
Fawn River to Lakeview is a pretty good drive. I'm glad your brakes didn't fail out again.
Yes, sir.
All right. You're good to go. We'll send you the information. You can pay that fine with green money here at the courthouse. Certified check or money order. You can also pay it online. We'll send you that information. You're good to go, sir.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. I know that was not particularly exciting compared to my usual video, but I just found it charming. It restored my faith in humanity somewhat. That we can just have a simple ticket. He was not represented. The defense attorney Stickley there, I saw him, he was in the Osment case, and he was losing his mind because she wouldn't be quiet, which is, I think, appropriate. I think that was an appropriate reaction. And here he did not care at all because he thought that is a reasonable offer. If the defendant would have said, hey, I want to talk to an attorney here, which would have been fine, Stickley would have said, yeah, do that. That's a good offer, is my guess. I don't know, but I think that's what he would have done. And the defendant, I mean, it sucks if his story is true, and it seems like it. He seemed like a upstanding, respectable guy. You know, he had an equipment failure, and he messed up his car, and now he's getting a ticket on top of it. Instead of crying like a baby, he just said, you know, I had a bad day. It's clearly a violation. You're supposed to have your vehicle in condition to be on the road, and there was an accident and he left the scene of it. That's clearly a code violation. There's no two ways about it. He's guilty of it. He's not a criminal. It's just like, you know, it's a traffic violation. But he just again stood up and took it like a man. Like, well, all right, this is unfortunate, but I guess I'll find $200 and carry on with my life. Here at Law Talk, we like to have fun with silly stuff that happens in court, and every once in a while, and completely by accident, I assure you, you might learn something. Thanks for watching.